Steve Junker. I'm CIO for Accūrō Solutions, and Accūrō provides payment solutions for medical bill processing for the American casualty insurance market. So basically, that means when people get hurt in auto accidents or more commonly in workers' compensation cases, so when they get hurt on the job, what we do is we tell their insurance companies what they should pay for those medical bills. So it's kind of a complicated process that involves a lot of calculations that are regionally state-based, and then we perform some additional medical review services for those things, and we're building a piece of software that manages that workflows and calculations for that process. So that's what we're doing. Biggest thing is we're building a solution from scratch, and we knew that the UI piece of the project, we need to keep the calculations piece of that all in-house and internal, but we knew the UI piece was going to be a short-term kind of one-time big build, and for us to bring it to market quickly, we wanted to bring a big team to that, but we knew that big team wasn't gonna, we weren't gonna have a big team around forever. So we looked for outsourced resources to do that, and it ended up being a good fit. And we know we're gonna have long-term sort of maintenance resources, but the ability to bring a big team to bear and the cost of UI resources as we looked into it is pretty extraordinary. So we looked to outsource that, and we came to Akveo, did a survey of both domestic and global firms that would allow us to meet that need. And what we found was a lot of the groups that we were talking to, a lot of the consultant groups that we found online were using Akveo products to deliver their services. So, eventually it came down to, Akveo is competitively priced, and we figured, the Akveo team was going to be the most familiar with the products that everybody was using. So it made a lot of sense just to go to the source. It was a number of things. It was the products, and then the flexibility. So we have a pretty strict framework that we needed to have the team work in, which is to say that first of all of the data that we are handling is governed by a set of laws in the United States known as HIPAA. I'm sure a thing that's known worldwide. But anyway, we needed to have the team had to be isolated within that sort of development box. We felt very strongly about having a team that would, what am I trying to say? It felt very strongly about having a team that would be working within our tool set. So very important for us to have complete control over the code, and the Akveo team was willing to work in that environment where they're delivering code into our development environment every day. We have full visibility over it. They have visibility over it, and it allows for much better collaboration in that way. And I think that was those were the biggest reasons: the familiarity with the product and just their willingness to work in our collaborative space and in a way that really worked well for both of us, as opposed to there were some groups that we interviewed that they were telling us how we were going to work with them, and that isn't how it was going to work. Working with Akveo is much more fluid and flexible. Initially, we came with a set of designs and plans. We were asked to deliver a couple things at the start. So we were asked to deliver a product vision, sort of an overall business language scope, and then a set of visual designs and a set of user stories that would describe what we wanted to do with a product. So pretty standard stuff. And from there, Akveo assigned a project manager, assigned a designer, and a couple developers to really start to then, working a lot with myself and our CTO, work to develop a sort of this kind of a collaborative toolkit for us to work together. So a basic set of tools, a basic look and feel, a basic visual language. And, from there, we took those first set of stories, worked them into kind of this collaborative toolkit, this collaborative development language, and then from there we just continued to kind of iteratively develop from our initial designs, and it became easier and easier for us to kind of deliver designs and plans in Akveo's preferred format. Not that they enforced that, but it was just we knew what the team was looking for. They knew what we were looking for, and it just became easier and easier. And then eventually, we right-sized the project. We knew what resources we needed. So Akveo brought, when we had kind of the size and scope of it, Akveo brought more development resources in as needed, brought QA resources in as needed, and then suggested additional automation testing resources, which now we've got a great, and then as we didn't need the design resources, those dropped off. So it's really been a collaborative and flexible team sizing to meet exactly what our needs have been all the way along the course of the project. So now we're kind of more focused on, because we've delivered the majority of the solution, now we're really more focused on sort of development and QA and automated testing to ensure that, in what is now a very complex system, the releases we're delivering are pretty flawless, and we've delivered, we do 2-week sprints, and we've hit every one of them. So I'm very happy to say. We never, ever would have been able to bring the whole thing to market. We were under very tight timelines to have something in the marketplace. Bringing this thing quickly was important, and we never would have been able to. It absolutely fulfilled our vision of taking something that literally didn't existed on a set of Excel spreadsheet designs. And, while our team was building the back end, Akveo absolutely kept pace and ahead of us, waiting for us to deliver, new designs and plans so that they could bring it to market. So just the speed, one is the speed of delivery was something we never could have achieved without the help. But more importantly, the way it was delivered, absolutely collaboratively. And in many cases, like I said, the designs that we initially came up with, Akveo offered design services, project management services, a whole suite of tools to allow us to focus on the business, to allow us to focus on the back end development, and brought, I'm not ashamed to say, brought a lot of ideas to the project that were a lot better than what we had originally envisioned from a visual standpoint. And the project is 100 times better than it would have been if we had developed it in-house. And Akveo worked with us a lot to, the project management team, always making sure that we're satisfied with the resources that we have, always providing feedback, very honest feedback about how we're working with them, how they're working with us. And it's really the feedback and the collaboration, and we meet with the team every day in a set of collaborations that I thought was going to be it's gone longer than we thought, but for good reasons, because we've massively expanded the scope of the thing, and we've chosen to continue Akveo's assistance with the project for the entire time. And so literally, my point is we meet with them every day. And then once a week we meet, kind of on camera, just to make sure the team is cohesive and working together. And we enjoy those collaborations. So in fact, we've got a meeting here in 40 minutes that's today's meeting and team collaboration and stand up and just quick, touch base on things. But it is really like having an in-house team. And to say it in a sentence, the project is better because of the involvement of Akveo. It wouldn't have been as good had we tried to do this ourselves. Directly, I would say the Akveo team uses them. We use NGX Admin, we use Nebular, we use the Ava design system, and again, all components of things that we wouldn't have been able to find or use or develop. So, and I would say the other components, the team was not shy about offering or bringing to bear. There was some charting systems that we wanted to use that, we ended up using a third-party charting system because we felt that, the Akveo team admitted it could, maybe more easily accomplish our goals with that with a third-party system. They were not shy about doing that. They were willing to do that integration. They were, willing to collaborate in that way. So it's just been super, it's been super helpful and flexible.